Well, hey there. Welcome to another edition of Socrates Explains Everything. My name is Socrates. I like to explain things. Today we're here in Amsterdam on a not quite dry day. In fact, it looks like it's just about to rain for a little bit. Yay. Now, on these dark days, I want to discuss the coronavirus, the Covid-19 as it's called. It's sweeping the world and there's a lot of panic and worry. I want to discuss it a little bit more, especially because YouTube won't monetize these videos. And my videos aren't monetized anyway, so it works out fine for me. So there's basically four stages to a pandemic. You have containment, delay, mitigation, and finally research. Now, essentially research is done from the beginning, so there's three phases. We've been through contained for a little while now. In China, they work desperately for containment. In Italy, they're now doing extreme amounts of containment. They haven't really done containment in the U.S. yet, but they probably should. The next step is going to be delay, though. And unfortunately for me, as a stand-up comedian who is planning to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in August, delay is generally characterized as canceling large group gatherings. So a month-long event where 1 million people are going to show up and hang out together is probably, I'm worried, is going to be canceled. The problem, of course, is that even though it's not that deadly a disease, it overwhelms the system. If everybody is infected at the same time, there's never going to be enough hospital space or doctors, especially when the doctors and nurses themselves are getting sick. Really didn't think it was going to be raining at this point. Push through it for the moment. But there's a wall of rain coming my way. Hey, doing it for you. So the mitigation phase is basically when you just try to make the best of it. And I think we're going to go deeply into delay, try to delay mitigation as possible, as long as possible, so the services can deal with this. You know, we can get more treatments and other options that we don't have at the moment. So again, the problem is it's showing some of the weaknesses in our systems in general. You know, capitalism doesn't set itself up well for an extreme event. It sets itself up for the normal, the expected, and the slow growth. And of course, it's my biggest beef with capitalism is we can't grow forever. It just doesn't make sense. And then you see the way the supply chains are being decimated just by a month. Companies are going out of business already. There's an airline in England, Flybe. They went bankrupt now, and 40% of their flights, no other airline services those airports. So it was a critical piece of English infrastructure that's now fallen down simply because some numbers don't add up on a paper for just a couple months. You know, the system is just fragile. It doesn't really accept any of these shocks to the system. Oil is currently in collapse because, again, technology is changing the face of you know, the marketplace. You know, oil was over $100, $120 a barrel. Now it's today at 37. It's very hard to plan for a business when your product is now 1/3 of its earlier value, especially something as expensive as drilling oil. Oh God, COVID. But these situations have to be, I think, considered to build a better economic system that's not so fragile, because the economy is literally the basis of our society. It's how we make everything work. And currently we have a very fragile basis. You know, technology is just devastating the businesses at the moment. You know, with self-driving cars and trucks, you know, all those driving jobs are going to disappear. You know, there's less and less purpose for people except for retail, and we're replacing, you know, most of the retail jobs are going to automation as well. So soon there won't be any work for people to do, and I don't think that's really a bad thing, except for the fact that the economy depends on it. You know, with 70% of the economy is based on you know, consumer spending. So to me, capitalism is an old, archaic system, and it's time we should replace it. You know, just like, you know, you can even look at the stock market as not collapsing, but the stock market isn't exactly value-based any longer. I traded the market for some time, and there was a time that it meant something, that the numbers were connected to performance, etc. even if it was just projected performance. It was still connected to something. And now it's just the machines trading with other machines, and to them, if it fits their algorithm, they're happy to do it. So it's not really a place of value any longer. But if you want to look at some of the positives, well, some people are worried that coronavirus might be a bioweapon. Did somebody release a bioweapon? Well, I don't think that's a bioweapon, because really I don't think there's any military on the planet that's looking to develop a weapon that's 2% fatal. You know, I mean, not even the French. All right, maybe the French, but the odds of it being a bioweapon are pretty much non-existent. It's just another virus that jumped from animal to people, and evolution at work, it was effective. You know, so the only other real positive is that if you're under 80, the chances of you dying from this are really pretty slim. And since the majority of the people that are dying, in fact, are over 80 and tend to be conservative and are Republican, well, maybe there is a God. I don't know. It can't hurt to help a progressive agenda in a world that needs to progress, because at this point, we don't have a future unless we make some major changes and do them pretty quick. We could screw around up till now, but climate change is going to make everything pretty much impossible, especially capitalism that's so weak to begin with, so fragile to begin with. The shock of climate change is something that our systems cannot deal with. So technologically we could deal with it. It's just that we need to be free to be technological without trying to satisfy some numbers on a page that really don't mean anything anymore. You know, the evidence is pretty clear that we need a better system, and we need it pretty quickly. So anyway, this is Socrates, sitting here in a light rain, because this is Amsterdam, and this is pretty much the kind of weather we have. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not in Florida, where there's hurricanes and tornadoes and fires and floods. Here we just have bicycles, canals, and mild drizzle. So thanks for watching. See you again soon. You want to look at the canal? Here, I'll get out the way.